Good evening. Hola, everybody. Rob Howitt, RJH Motorbike Training, Wednesday, 30th of March, 2022. Welcome to the live stream all the way from España. All the way from España. Not that you would think so. As you can see, I'm wrapped up. It's not that warm in Spain at the moment, but warmer weather to come during the week. So, as I'm here for a month, I don't mind too much. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday night's live stream all about the CBT. All about the CBT tonight, so it's going to benefit anybody that is thinking about getting onto two wheels, don't know what to do. They do know what to do, but they just want a bit more information. As we do find, it is very beneficial if you do a little bit of homework before you go along. So we'll talk everything about the CBT tonight. Everything and everything. Let's get that chat room too hot to handle. So I want to see steam coming out the corners of the chat room tonight. Lots of information from various sources will be forthcoming. So that is what tonight's live stream is all about, the CBT. Traditionals, I suppose, really is that, well done to all of Team RJH, getting everybody through the tasters, CBTs, Mod 1s, Mod 2s, and even Rusty Rider back to biking. Doing quite a few at the moment of the back to bikings. Which is, if you've been off a bike for a while and you just need to have somebody look at your riding before you get back out, which is really, really very sensible. So a lot of those. So well done to all of those. Well done to Team RJH. Have been doing it in a good mix of weather, really nice weather and then bad weather. So very challenging with the weather. So well done to all of you. And also well done to everybody that's been messaging me from up and down the country. Videos have helped me pass. I passed Mod 1 and Mod 2 first time. I didn't even have any lessons, was one message I got, which is testament to the quality and content that is available on our channel. So keep those comments coming. They really do motivate us to make more videos, and it really is satisfying to know that we're not only helping people at the RJH schools, but we are helping people up and down the country, which is really, really good to know. So keep that up, and thank you very much. We'll be holding the competition again tonight once we receive 100 viewers at the same time. The record is 62. We did reach 62 once upon a time. But of late, not so much, but we keep plugging away. So when I do get to 100 viewers on the live stream at the same time, I am going to open up a competition and give away a free CBT worth £199, and that will be available at our Manchester school, at our Northwich school, at our Wigan school, or our Runcorn school. So that's all really, really positive. So in order to get to 100, like the video, share the video, comment away, and also if you haven't subscribed, then please do hit that subscribe button. And that's where we are. One other thing I suppose worth mentioning as well is that as a company we've got 1,335 Google reviews. So Manchester we've got 983 Google reviews. In Northwich we've got 260, in Wigan we've got 80, and in Runcorn we've got 12. So if you're one of those viewers that are going to benefit from the channel, but you're from up and down the country, you're not actually coming and training with us, obviously the videos on the channel are all free and really beneficial for all of you. But if you're able to, leave us a Google review, because that's your way of repaying us. So do leave us a Google review, and Manchester only needs 17 Google reviews to hit 1,000. I mean, that's some going, isn't it? 1,000 Google reviews in Manchester. We're 17 away from that, so we worked really, really hard. I've got a fantastic reputation there. So, as I say, if you are one of those viewers that are from up and down the country, not really directly training with us, then do repay us by leaving us one of those reviews. Would be much appreciated. So I am currently in Spain. As I say, you wouldn't think so because I'm all wrapped up. I had to go and buy this hoodie today from, I think I got it from C&A or one of those. And it's very, very nice, keeps me nice and warm, because it is a little bit chilly here. But yeah, so what I have got is a little can of San Miguel, because of course life in Spain wouldn't be the same without a little can of San Miguel, which is very, very nice. Okay, so anybody in the chat room then? We've not got anybody in the chat room. Nobody in the chat room yet. Come on, make yourself known. Don't be shy. Nobody's made any comment yet. Are there? Why can't I see any comment there? There. My apologies, folks. I had the comments tucked away. Couldn't even see them. So, who have we got in the chat room then? I do apologise. Lisa, good evening. Although Lisa's actually sat the other side of the room. And Sophie, good evening to you. Darren, nice to hear from you tonight, Darren. Melanie James, Spain, it's been snowing here. Well, the rain, we've had rain today. I went out for a nice long walk this afternoon, getting in daily walks, and we're here for the month. So, but today I was out and I got soaked through. I got absolutely soaked. Yeah, but it is forecast to be better. I'm still picking up a nice tan anyway. I can get tanned without any snow. AW8, good evening to you. Nice to see you tonight. To anybody considering CBT and viewing this, RJH great training provider, good training is a good investment. Absolutely. What does it say? One of our mottos is cheap training isn't quality, and quality training isn't cheap. Like my Aldi cap, yeah, this is a genuine Audi cap. It's a genuine Audi cap. You need a spot up here in the Highlands. Yes, I know I do. Yep, Lisa is the boss. We're here. Yep, good. So didn't have the chat room on. Anyway, so let's get cracking then. Tonight is all about the CBT. So hopefully, if you can all like, share, comment away, the algorithms will get out there and we'll get some newbies coming on tonight. Okay, so it'll take as long as it takes. And you know, if it takes an hour, then it takes an hour. If it takes 2 hours, then it takes 2 hours. Yeah, CBT, the quality of CBT AWA is quite, yeah, I would say interesting to say the least. But it is basic, you know, it's a lot to take in, and it is all about basic training. And, you know, really your learning starts thereafter. But we do try and give as much as much life skills as we possibly can in the short amount of time that we have. So the beauty with the CBT live stream is what I have got below in the description is a lot of videos relating to the CBT. So as we go through the syllabus, you can refer back down to the description, and there's really a lot of content on there that you can watch at in your own leisure, and take it from there. Yeah, if you have a look on our website, YT. Are we back on? I think we might be back on. Had a little bit of a glitch there. That's very naughty. Got a good signal, but hey. Where were we then? We were with YT Chicken Man. YT Chicken Man. Check this website. And you will see where we are, what we do, and you can take it from there, make your own choices there, can't you? So CBT, let's get cracking with CBT. I've got my notepad because I've not got any notes as such. But I've got plenty of you on the chat room to help me along if I get lost. So compulsory basic training, and everybody has to complete a CBT if they want to ride on the road on two wheels, except, so if you pass your car test before February the 1st, 2001, then you are exempt. You can ride a 50cc on your bike license, but anybody after that, then you do need to complete a CBT to ride at 16 a 50cc and at 17 a 125cc. So in a sense, then everybody, yep, got to do the CBT, and at the end of it you get a certificate which validates the provisional entitlement of your license. So compulsory basic training, the certificate is also known as a DL196, lasts you for 2 years, so keep it somewhere safe. You will need to pay for a copy if you lose it, and you'll only get a copy from the training body that issued to it. So the best thing to do is keep it safe. Not a test. CBT is not a test. It's a course of completion, so just you need to show that you are safe. Ultimately, it is all about road safety. You need to demonstrate that you are safe on the roads. And before you can get on the roads, in order to demonstrate that you're safe, you do need to show that you're in control of the bike on the off-road parts, so on the training sites. So that's what tonight is all about, the CBT. So what it is, what you're able to do. You are restricted with it, so you've got to have L plates front and back. You cannot carry a passenger, and you cannot go on the motorway. So there's your exceptions, the conditions, if you like. And the reason you're doing the CBT is because it was introduced in 1990. And prior to 1990, the law was all different then. People could just get on bigger bikes, no training and sort of things like that, coming unstuck. And back in the 80s, the Japanese were importing 200, 250s. So a lot of learners on those bikes, no training. Lots of problems. So the government brought out the CBT in the year 1990, December 1st of December, I think it was, on 1990. And the objective for road safety. Now, since the CBT has been introduced, accidents have been reduced by between 50 and 70%. So it is worthwhile. And 3 aims of the course are to improve road safety generally, to contribute to maintaining that reduction, 50 to 70% in accidents involving learning motorcyclists, and also the very important aim is that you get your certificate. If you can't keep up with me, if I'm talking too fast, tell me to slow down. But everything I do say are in all the description videos below. There's a real big load of content below for you to check into, and it just really validates what I am waffling on about through the live stream. All the best, AW8. Sharon, good evening. PS, PTSD nerves got the better of me at Runcorn, but Sophie is amazing, so we'll be back. Just cannot seem to turn the bike. Need to be able to turn the bike. Yeah, bicycles, push bikes, 2 wheels can help. Melanie James, can you fail your CBT? Well, we don't like to call it a fail or a pass, but it's a completion. So you can well, fail, no, but you might need to put more time in. So you might need to put more time in order to complete it. And a lot of people do think that, oh, I'll come along on my CBT on one day. It doesn't work like that. Some do, some don't. Dave Ashworth, good evening to you. CBT, Mod 1 last week, Mod 2 this week. Fantastic to hear Dave Ashworth. One of our very, very recent passes. So good for you. Now the fun begins. Going out and choosing a bike and so on. Now the fun begins. So yeah, CBT, so that's what it is. What do you need in order to do your CBT? Well, you need a valid license. So you need to go, yeah, if you've got full car license, yeah, great. If not, then you need to apply and get a provisional license, but you need a driving license. How do you book your CBT? Well, all schools are different, but with our school, you can choose your location, you can choose your date on our website. I've put a link down below. You can use our booking calendar, and you can book it all online. So very, very easy. And I'd say anybody that does want to do a CBT, prepare. Get yourself prepared. Don't just rock up. Prepare. Get everything ready the night before. Do a bit of homework. But very, very important to get into the zone for it. If you've never ever ridden a bike before, I would always recommend a taster. You know, for £50 for an hour with an instructor, do a taster, and that instructor then can advise you, yeah, great, or maybe you do another taster, because, you know, we are all at different abilities and we all learn in different ways. And the key thing as well is to enjoy the CBT. And if you enjoy the CBT, then it's gonna be less stressful and you'll learn better. If you're enjoying it, you learn a lot better. Yeah, that'll be needing more to, yep. So, but that's the thing, Melanie, we are there, and put the time in, and you know, you'll get the rewards. That's the thing, you put the time in, you will get the rewards. So on CBT day, make sure you have the right gear, make sure you've read your notes, always arrive on time, make sure you've got the right documentation, make sure you've got glasses if you need them, because you do get an eyesight test. Make sure you're wearing the right stuff, and some schools provide stuff, other schools don't, so check with your school as to what they do. But you don't be late, get there nice and early, because you know you're potentially going to be with a group, and you won't be waiting. We have a cut-off point, and if you're late, then you're late, you lose your fee. Simple as. You pay for the slot, get there on time. Sam Armstrong, good evening, Sam. Is a CBT always done with a 125? No, not necessarily. If you're 16, it'll be a 50. If you're 17 and over, it might be a 125, but it can still be a 50. Sometimes I can complete a CBT on a 650 on a DAS bike if you're over 24, or on a 500 if you're 19. Depends on the ability and the group of pupils that you're with. But I'd say the answer to that is no. CBT is not always done on a 125. So yeah, get to your school on time. Don't come for your CBT after working a night shift. If you've worked a night shift, don't think you can do a CBT, because you're going to get frazzled. You're going to get so tired. All right, so make sure you get a good night's sleep. I think that's everything up to arriving on time. I think that's up to arriving on time. CBT then will be a full, a CBT will be 5 elements. Call them elements. So if you think of element A, element B, element C, element D, and element E. So A, B, C, D, E. And they need to be done in that order. A, B, C, D, E. We can't go from element A to element D. Or you can't go straight into element D. It's got to be element A, B, C, D, E. And on your CBT, you can't go through those elements unless you've satisfactorily completed the element that you're in. It's really important. You can't, we're not going to push you beyond your ability. At the same time, we won't hold you back. And that's what instructors do. We pitch the lesson at your ability. Okay? Pitch your lesson at your ability. Sharpshooter, good evening. What about weather? The rain is very bad for my test day. Get used to the rain, mate. The rain is in Spain. I'm in Spain and it's raining. Yeah, rain, not a problem. Heavy rain that's not draining away, so it's settled, that can cause a problem. So just depends. And it is all about safety. So there are times your CBT could be rescheduled, and just depends. But it is all about safety. It's all about safety. And we wouldn't be out training you in bad weather if we felt that we would be putting you at risk. Okay, so the best thing to do is not to worry about that until the day of your CBT, if that's what you're referring to. But remember, CBT is not a test. CBT is a course of safety. So you get to your centre on time and you get checked in. The first thing you're going to get done is all your document checks, license checks and so forth. And you will do an eyesight test. That's the first thing. One of the first things you'll do is an eyesight test. So make sure if you need glasses, you have them. Make sure you can read a number plate, 20.5 meters. And then you're straight into element A, which is a talk. And that talk will last approximately 30 to 45 minutes. What you will be talking about is the CBT, the history of the CBT. We've already discussed that. What you're able to do once you've completed the CBT, we've already talked about that. And also remember, the links are below. And then you will be have a discussion about how the day is going to, or how the CBT course is going to be, how you're going to go through it, and talk about the various cut-off points, and you'll get to talk about the aims, the aims of the course and all of the elements. So you've got a really good understanding about what's involved and why. Straight into then helmets. You get a good open and honest discussion on helmets, good open and honest discussion on clothing and equipment, and it's great to get involved in these discussions. So a lot of interaction makes it a lot more enjoyable. And try and pay attention, because your instructor will no doubt ask you a few questions to validate that knowledge and to ensure you are paying attention. And if you're not paying attention in these early stages, then, you know, and you're not paying attention on the training yard, then that could affect the decision about you going on the road. Because if you're not paying attention on the classroom, or you're not paying attention on the training yard, how are you going to pay attention when you're on the road? So do come along, be focused. It's serious stuff, but it's enjoyable stuff. It's important stuff. So show that you have a good attitude. So interact. Helmets, styles, materials, fits, fastenings, visors, keeping them clean. What would happen if you drop them? Who's exempt? So let's see who's paying attention. Who is exempt from wearing a motorcycle helmet on a two-wheeled bike on the roads in England? Let's see who's paying attention. So yeah, good open discussion on the safety helmets. Anybody got that question? Anybody got the answer to that question? Is nobody paying attention? Well done, Darren RS. It's a member of the Sikh religion. It's a practicing member of the Sikh religion. Yes, they are exempt from wearing a safety helmet. And yeah, I mean, it's always advisable. We would always advise that you come along and interact with the CBT and everything. You'll have a better idea about what you want to go and buy. That said, we have a really good relationship with J&S Accessories, and they've got 30 stores up and down the country. 30 stores up and down the country. And we've got a school on their J&S in Northwich, Oakmere in Northwich. And if you go and have a look in that shop, anybody that's in Northwest, get yourself down to J&S in Northwich. If you're looking for safety helmets, go there. I've never seen a selection as big as in J&S Accessories. So go in there, they'll look after you. They'll put you right. But we'd always recommend, if you're a bit unsure, don't buy anything until you've done your CBT. But if you do go and buy one, go to J&S. Up and down the country, they have stores. So go and take a look. So good, open, honest discussion on safety helmet. And then the gear. Jacket, helmet, gloves, boots. Jacket, trousers, gloves and boots. Different materials. And why you need to wear them. Protection, keep warm, keep dry, the effects, what's going to happen if you're not wearing them. So again, a good open discussion on all the gear. But yeah, J&S accessories, they will put you right, they will look after you. Tell them that we've sent you, they will look after you, okay? And then a bit of discussion on substitutes. Helmets, clothing, and substitutes, I suppose, is an important one. Substitutes, because not everybody can, everybody's on a budget, aren't they? So, and we do appreciate that. So, but the next best thing, wrap up, layers, denim, natural fibres, until you can afford to go and get your stuff. But it is something you need to be certainly considering. Very, very important. Melanie, we went to Openshaw J&S, great, the other week, and they said they charge an extra 10% for people with RJH. Yeah, they should do as well. We sent that many people to them. They were very good and let me try on a number of helmets and fit checked for me. Great. Yes, tell them that we sent you. As I say, they have got Openshaw's, not the biggest. Openshaw's by Man City, isn't it? By the Man City ground, I think. It's that way, almost Ashton-under-Lyne. But yeah, we put a lot of people to them, and yeah, they will look after you. So, as I say, that discussion on safety equipment, and I've even got some great product reviews in some of the videos down below in the playlists, and yeah, you need to really be thinking about wearing the proper clothing and the proper equipment, definitely. Once you've done that, you get kitted out generally, and then you get onto the training yard, which is when you're introduced to the training yard, the do's and the don'ts, because, it is approved by the DVSA, and there's, every training site that you go to will have certain conditions, like, that gate's locked. If anybody comes on, then you need to stop, or whatever it might be. Introduced to the yard, and then introduced to the bike. So you'll be having a look at the bike that you're going to be riding. So whether that's a manual bike or an automatic bike, and it's what we call Element B. So Element A is the introduction helmet and all the clothing. Element B, and if you don't keep up with me talking through, remember it's all listed down below. It's all listed down below in the descriptions. But Element B is what we call bike familiarization. Basic machine checks, and they are split up into daily and weekly. And stands. So you have discussions and demonstrations, and you have a go with stands. Wheeling the bike around to the left and right, and starting and stopping the bike. Just on that subject, how many have we got in there? How many people got? Oh, we've got 9 people. Just on that subject, yeah. Talking about the basic machine checks on Element B. So we're buying a lot of gear off J&S, hydraulic lifts. We're buying tire changing, tire balancing, various tools and trolleys and stuff like that from J&S. We're actually having a workshop in Manchester, so we've got a workshop where we're going to be introducing 10-week owner maintenance classes. So 10-week owner maintenance classes. How cool is that? I think we're probably one of the only bike schools that are investing in that. And yeah, we're all very, very excited. So that just made me think about that, the daily and weekly checks. So yeah, we are developing a workshop, motorcycle workshop, to look after our own fleet, but also to roll out some owner maintenance classes, which so far have been very well received. So familiarization of the bike. So what is that? That is a throttle. What does the throttle do? Don't know. Right, so what is that? That is a front brake. Great. What does it do? So what you get is a bike familiarization, and it is what it is. So this is a what do you do with it? So this is what you do with it. What don't you do with it? You don't do this with it. Where do you use it? You use it here. Where don't you use it? You don't use it there. So, and you sort of go around the bike, and it's what we call bike familiarization. So at the end of the discussion, you'll have a good idea about what the bike does. Daily and weekly checks. So there are checks that you should be doing daily, and there are checks you should be doing weekly. So daily and weekly checks. You know, tires, tread depth, pressure, chain, lubrication, tension, brakes. So a good overall of daily checks and weekly checks to keep your bike in tip-top condition. Stands, side stands, centre stands, how you take them on and off the stand successfully, and then wheeling the bike around left and the right, getting used to the weight of the bike, possibly using the front brake for the first time, and once you've done that, you're then stopping the bike and stopping the bike, starting the bike and stopping the bike. So you turn it on and off, and that really is what Element B is all about. Again, 30 to 45 minutes, and that the tone, the level of that discussion will be based on your ability. So we won't teach you to suck eggs. If you can do it, then we'll pitch it at your level, but we won't cut corners. Just because you can ride a bike, we won't say, okay, come on then, let's get straight on the road. It don't work like that. Not at our school anyway. So yeah, Audi are sponsoring RJH, as you can see. There you go. Good job of driving Audi, isn't it? But yes, so Element B, about 30 to 40 minutes. But yes, Darren, it is a good idea. It's all about the timing. We would have done this 10 years ago if the timing was right. But we've got the right people now. We've got a fully qualified Honda motorcycle mechanic who's helping us do them. He's going to be servicing. We've got over 50 bikes now, so we're going to be servicing our own bikes. We're going to be looking at owner maintenance workshops, and it's great that we can do to our trainees a ride in and ride out service. You know, you can come and get some tires fitted. We have trade accounts with tire manufacturers and consumables. So ride in, ride out. So we're going to be starting to start our own workshop. So got a load of stuff arriving tomorrow for it. Really, really excited. So watch this space. Mr. Smith. Now there is a blast from the past. How are you, Mr. Smith? For anybody that has only just joined, I am in Spain. You wouldn't think so because I'm all wrapped up. It's quite chilly. And I do have one little tin of San Miguel there, which I have in a glass. But yes, that is all about Element B. You're right, Darren. No, there's no such thing as bad weather. It's all about bad gear. So Mr. Smith, keep him well. Must have been very busy of late. So element A and element B, we can generally say that's going to be 30, 45 minutes on both of those, so we can control the time of those pretty much. Element C is the one we can't put a time on. Element C. Oh dear, Dave's not in the happiest campers, if you're honest. Well, you're amongst friends, Dave, so try and have a good evening. The weather, summer's on the way. You'll feel a bit better when the summer comes. So element C, we like to get you on the bikes, on our CBTs, by 10 o'clock. And we like to finish element C about 1 o'clock, so that's about 3 hours. But, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit less. Sometimes it takes longer. You can't put a time to it. But 1 o'clock, that's our sort of cut-off if we're going to get you on the road the same day. So it's all about being open and honest with each other and managing everybody's expectations. But element C, first thing we're going to get you to do on element C is moving off and stopping. It's quite simple. You need to ride up and down the training yard, stopping, starting, stopping, starting, in what we call the control position and using both the brakes. And how long that takes you to do depends on you. It depends on your history, on your experience, on your ability. And what we do try and do with new riders is link anything you've got in the past, whether you're a cyclist, a car driver, link it all into what we're doing and go down that route. But it may be, you know, you might only need 1 go to do it, or 2 goes, or 3. You might need 20. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. But ultimately, module 1 in element C is moving off and stopping in the control position using both your brakes. Gee, Dave, cheers, just had to consider selling my bike. Work and being about me parking in the car park. Shame. Most employers encourage employees to ride 2 wheels rather than 4 because better for the environment, less space, and, you know, they generally support that, but not all, I suppose, are the same. Yeah, tell them that you've got to bring a 4x4 in. They might then take up 4 space. You get 4 bikes in a spot that a car takes. Element C, Module 2. So Element C, Module 2 is slow riding, where, again, you're riding slow in a straight line using the coordination. I mean, if it's on a manual bike, it's going to be your throttle, your clutch, and your rear brake, those 3 controls. If it's a scooter and auto, it's going to be your throttle and your back brake. Make sure you can ride slowly, comfortably. Just imagine you're in traffic. So we're looking at nice, smooth control. Have a look in the videos below. There's lots of videos below that support what I'm talking about. Okay, so lots of videos below that support what I'm talking about. Slow speed. 3 would be probably braking at a given point. And the thing with element C as well, this can all be in different orders depending on the ability of the pupil. So it doesn't have to be in the order that I'm saying. It doesn't have to be in the order that the syllabus of the CBT. It's up to the instructor to work element C to the that what fits in with the ability of the pupil. So you might go straight into moving off and stopping in gears and rear obs. But that's up to your instructor on the day. Bit of off topic, but how long would you say it would take for a DAS, assuming I get the hand of it and don't need extra training? Again, we do 4-day courses, Sam, 5-day courses, 6-day courses, 7-day courses. So again, everybody's different, but we will go with you. Check the website. There is a link. I'm going to post it again now. if you fill out the contact form on that website, Charlie will give you a ring tomorrow and discuss your options. But it's not one size fits all, but we do have different courses based on different abilities. But yeah, always recommend spreading it out over a couple of weeks because you've got your 2 tests. Quicker you want to get it done. If you haven't got your theory test passed, get your theory test booked and passed as soon as you possibly can. So number 3, braking exercise. Yeah, so this is where you'll be going around, stopping at a given point. So a couple of cones out. Imagine it's a white line. Imagine it's traffic lights and get you to stop in a straight line. Control position using both brakes, A, B, C. So off the throttle, front brake, back brake, clutch in. Always recommend clutch coming after the brakes. Don't want to be coasting. Clutch comes in before the brakes. We call that coasting. We don't recommend that. Again, braking exercise in the videos below. Take a look at it. There's some fantastic videos in the description below. Fantastic content, which you can have a look at your leisure. And this is all beneficial for any of you ladies and gents that are thinking about getting in and doing a CBT. It's all about letting you know what is involved. So braking, what would come after braking? I suppose gears. Most training areas, CBT get 1, 2, 3, down to 2, down to 1, up to 2, up to 3, down to 2, down to 1. What they got? Most 1, 2, 5s have got 5 gears. Some have got 6, but you're not going to get up to that on the training area. Doubt it. Unless you've got a really, really big training area, but certainly 1, 2, 3 should be. Just make sure that you're comfortable up and down the gears. Great video down below that you can have a look at. What will come after the gears? Rear obs. So talk about mirrors, blind spots, lifesavers. So indirect and direct rear observations. So, demonstrate where you'd use them, why you'd use them, what would happen if you didn't use them, and this sort of thing. So lots of discussion on rear obs. Again, look it down below. Great videos. Figure of 8, I suppose that'd come in. Slow speed, figure of 8. So once you've got your slow speed built up, you should be able to turn around. So figure of 8, left and right. Gas, clutch, rear brake. So it's that coordination we're looking at. Looking where you're going, nice smooth control. Remember the coordination, which is your gas clutch, your throttle clutch, rear brake. So your figure of 8 would come in there. Video below should cover that. Emergency stop. Again, I've got a great video down below and a description, a brief of an emergency stop. But you need to be able to stop your bike in the shortest possible distance, given the weather and traffic conditions. And I have a discussion on how you can stop quickly, how you can prevent having to stop quickly. You talk about skidding, what would happen if you skidded, and all these sort of things based around that emergency stop, because you need to be able to stop quickly if you had to. But the way you can prevent having to do that is by planning ahead, obviously. What else you got? U-turn. So yeah, turn in the road, U-turn. You've got to be able to. Good evening, Jazzy Globe. You've got to be able to turn the bike around. So where you do it, where you wouldn't do it, how you're going to do it. Again, slow speed. I mean, some schools, Element C, you do your slow speed, you do your figure of 8, and then you do your U-turn, or one after the other. But as I said, they can mix that around as much as they need to your benefit. And also, I think that's most of element C up to junction. So we're moving off and stopping, slow speed, braking exercise. You've got gears, you've got rear obs, you've got emergency stop, you've got figure of 8, you've got U-turn, and then you've got your left and right turns. So your OSM, PSL, that's observation, signal, maneuver, position, speed, look, and applying that into left and right turns. Minor to major, major to minor, 7 different options, OSM, PSL. OSM, PSL. This is really the sort of conclusion of element C, and it's pretty much where you should be then deciding about, and your instructor deciding about, you know, whether you'll be going on the road or not. It's sort of you got to be at a certain level to get up to the junctions. You know, a new rider couldn't just straight away go into the junctions. You've got to go through all of those exercises relatively comfortably to go to the junctions. And yet, if your junctions you're struggling with on the yard, then you're going to struggle with them on the road, aren't you? So that's where we as a school sort of look at the deciding factor whether you're going to be going on the road or not, and you'd know whether you're going to be going on the road or not. So it's OSM, PSL, left and right turns. So that really will take you up to about 1 o'clock. So if we've A and B got you onto the bikes by 9:45, 10 o'clock at the latest, really we want to have completed all of that element C up to the junctions by about 1 o'clock, because then you're going into the classroom to conclude element D, which will take another 45 minutes. You'll have a little bit of lunch, of course. So at 1 o'clock cut off, you're really looking at about 2 o'clock to 2:30 by the time you go on the road. And on the road, you need to be a minimum of 2 hours, which means 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 4:30 finish, 4:45 finish, with an 8 o'clock start. It's quite a long day, which is why the cut off at 1. If you're not getting it and you're on the pad till 3 o'clock before going on the road, taking you on the road at 3:30, 4 o'clock, too late. That's where the risks start to increase, and you know, concentration levels drop, which is why we have that cut-off of 1 o'clock. So, yeah, element C concludes with left and right turns, OSM, PSL. So when you finished element C, time to have a bit of lunch and concluding with element D. And element D is a discussion. As I say, on element A, we like an open discussion. Element B, we like an open discussion. And on element D, we like an open discussion. So don't sit in the corner being quiet. Get out of it as much as what you put in and try and contribute as much as you can. It's a lot better if you can. So what are we talking about on element D then? Highway code. Legal requirements. These are topics. Conspicuity. Weather conditions. Road surfaces. Road position. Speed. Rear obs. Can we think of any more? I'm sure there's a load more that I've not missed. Anybody think of anything else? Road position, speed, weather conditions, road surfaces, road position, the effects of drink driving. I'm sure there's a few more. I think there's a couple more. Can anybody think of any others? Who's paying attention? Oh, drinking drugs, isn't it? Oh, bends, position on bends. Roundabouts. Hazard perception. Hazard perception, yeah. Attitude. You don't want to be going out in a mood. You need a good clear. So lots of topics to stimulate a conversation. Following distances, Darren, yes. Lots of topics to get discussions going. Really good. Oh, yeah, vanishing points on bends, yeah. It's good to get an open discussion. As an example, weather conditions. So you talk about, right, what's it going to be like riding in the sun? Advantages, disadvantages. What's it like going to be riding in the rain? Advantages, disadvantages. What's it going to be like riding in the fog? Advantages, disadvantages. What's it going to be like riding in the wind? Advantages. So everything has pros and cons, and it just gets that open discussion. Open discussion, and that will take again 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, so road surfaces would cover that, Jazzy Globe. Drain covers, white lines, tar banding, and the effects of, going over those. Yeah, very important there. We talk about, so speed, how fast, bends, how fast, junctions, how fast. Well, you do. Sophie say you need to be able to stop in this distance you can see to be clear. And of course, now with the highway code, the new highway code rules, which is on your junctions, it's all about getting that speed down. So if you've got that speed down to a walking pace, then you can deal with that pedestrian walking across. If you're going zooming in and out of your junctions and a pedestrian suddenly walks across, you're not going to be able to stop. So it's all about getting that speed under control and thinking of others. Then what would happen is provided you're going on the road, your instructor would get your kid out with a radio and have a bit of a chat about the radio and what they expect of you, how the radio is going to work and what happens if they don't work and all these sort of things. You've got a really good understanding about what you're doing when you go on the road. You do need to be on the road for a minimum of 2 hours. So if anybody has been on the road and they got the certificate and they only be on the road for an hour, then that is not a good CBT. And you need to be complaining. And I've got a great playlist of videos. What if playlist? What if? So what if I'm not happy with my CBT? Then you can report that school. If you're not happy, you can report them, because you should be out on the road for a minimum of 2 hours. And if you're not, it's not good. So when you're on the road, you are looking at things like junctions, roundabouts, bends, gradients, You'll be doing a hill start, you'll be doing a U-turn and an emergency stop, and you, just ultimately showing that you are safe. And a minimum of 2 hours, okay? So that is really important that you get your 2 hours, and you can see how beneficial it is to riders when they've been out for 2 hours, because the last hour, start to enjoy it, and that's where your learning really does take place. I suppose one message really is, if you don't get to go on the road, don't get too upset about it. It's for your own benefit that you need to put a bit more training in. Great if you can get your CBT completed on the first day, the first sitting, but don't think that you can't, if you don't get it, just put a bit more time into it. And also, what we are seeing as a school more and more of late are one-to-one CBTs. People actually want to do a CBT on their own. They don't want to be part of a group. So most schools will cater for that. Now, that's pretty much about it for the CBTs. What I would say is I've got another live stream next Wednesday, which is the Module 1. That would follow on from the CBT Module 1. But I will be doing a Sunday evening Bob the Biker one on Sunday as well. And so it was, about an hour. That's really all it is this evening. But hopefully that is given some of you that are watching now, or whether you come back and watch it at a later date to give you an idea about what's involved. You can always ask questions, I'll always reply to them. And I do thank you all that have been chatting away in the chat room. Really is appreciated. Darren, I felt my CBT was a little rushed, not enough time spent on braking. Said it to the instructor as he was signing the certificate. He just smiled and said I was fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's the foundation. The CBT is the foundation. It's probably one of the most important parts of learning to ride and getting your bike license is the CBT, because if you get your CBT, that's standard, and then you can carry on through to the rest of the training. Right, I think I am pretty much about done. So thank you all for your time. Until next time, have a great evening, and set those reminders on for your Module 1 video next week, or if not, set your reminder on and check out on Sunday night Bob the Biker. But until then, adios, ladies and gents. Bye for now.